Hey, what is up, guys? It is your boy Speed here, and today I have a couple things I want to show you guys and a couple things I want to talk about. So, what I want to discuss is a few things about CGC. I want to show you all the cards I'll be submitting or potentially submitting. I'm not too sure yet on all of them. I have a lot of like vintage, semi-rare cards, the commons, the uncommons, and I want to talk about why I have really locked in this idea that I want to use CGC for the next probably 6 to 8 months. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm going to dive into all of this. So yeah, if you're excited for the video and you like this type of content or you just want more Pokemon content in general, subscribe to the channel. I genuinely appreciate it. And let's get into it. So the first two things I want to talk about are these two cards right here. I guess I could replace this one with, any of these in this pile here, which I'll be going over. But what do I want to talk about these two cards? Well, recently on eBay, on eBay, a Ghastly, a first edition Ghastly, right, the common card, from Fossil, sold for $23 with $5 shipping, which is definitely profit. That's a 7. Now, you could be saying, oh, he got lucky, right? Whoever was the seller got lucky. He happened to find a Ghastly enthusiast. And I think that's fair. However, I think for all of these cards, what you're trying to do, and what I recommend you guys try to do if you're looking to flip CGC cards, is you try to find relatively popular Pokemon in good condition, and then grade them with CGC. I just think this current market favors it, or it does well in it, based on the numbers I'm running. And people might disagree with that. But yeah, if a Ghastly can sell for $23 with $5 shipping, what could a first edition Team Rocket Eevee or a first edition Jungle Eevee go for? And by the way, these are mint. Look at the conditioning. Conditioning. Look at the centering. It's great. Well, maybe a little bit off top to bottom. It's pretty darn good, though. And on the back, you're going to notice, there is maybe some, like, whitening at the top. You know what I mean? How sometimes cards have, like, that white film at the top? Yeah, you guys can see it there. Very frustrating. I hate that that's even a thing. But yeah, a clean card. This is definitely a 9.5 potential. If I really wanted to go off the rails, even a 10, which would definitely sell for quite a lot. I would guess like $100, something like that. But yeah, this is the reason why I want to go with CGC. Let's quickly talk about PSA. So, I use Graded Gem. I use a middleman service to submit my cards to PSA. I currently have like 400 cards at PSA, 300 cards at PSA. And I'm all for PSA. I love PSA. I like the slabs. I like how they look. I also like CGC, but I like the slabs. I like how they look. Obviously, the prices are much, 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 much better. Don't forget that right now, at least. Okay, right now. And I think they'll stay higher for a long time than, over CGC. But it just takes forever. And I was watching Z&G Emporium's video. He is the person who does the middleman service. He has a big YouTube channel, 17K subscribers, talks about Pokemon investing, things like that. He's like, yeah, PSA sent out an email to all of these distributors or the people doing the middleman service for PSA. I don't know when they're going to get their cards back. They said, we don't know. They didn't give them a deadline and say 8 months, 9 months, 10 months. They said, we don't know. You'll get them when you get them. I'm pretty sure that's the exact phrasing. I don't want that. I want to be able to flip my cards and make profit now. I don't want to make $30 in potentially a year and 2 months. Because frankly, there's nothing that prevents that from happening. If you go watch any of the middleman service PSA videos and listen to any of them talk, they're all saying December was insane. Insane. The amount of orders they got was through the roof. So CGC is probably not much different. I'm guessing they are getting an insane amount of orders, but nothing to the level of PSA, because PSA is obviously much more known. The prices are, the return value you get is much higher. It's significantly easier to get 10s, which is something I wish CGC would change. I don't like that it's so hard to get a 10 personally. Maybe it's out of just greed. But yeah, next card I want to talk about, this one. A 9 sold for $45. Now, I bought this card, this exact card, for $11. I'm a huge fan of just buying Charizards and singles that look good on eBay and then trying to flip them, trying to grade them, because I don't know, there's just profit. Like if a 9 sells for $40, I bought this for $11, right? And let's take a look. The front centering looks great. Obviously, I can't tell if there's scratches. Could be scratched. I don't have like a microscope or whatever. I don't even know who does. But look at the centering. Fantastic. Oh, a little bit off the right to left, so probably will not get the 10. Definitely will not get the 10. What am I saying? It's CGC. There's no way. Which is annoying. I hate that. But it probably won't get the 10, but like it's probably going to get a 9 or a 9.5, you know? That's usually what you're hoping for, 9, 9.5. And so when you're looking up cards to flip, guys, do not look at 10s. It's unless you have Japanese cards. I've been doing a lot of research. Japanese cards, they don't have like a hard time getting 10s. Kind of. A lot of 9.5s, a lot of 10s with Japanese cards. The print quality is just so much better. But yeah, like these cards in particular are ones I would definitely recommend looking out for on eBay and flipping. Sometimes the first edition like EVs are a bit overpriced right now. Like this card in particular is so overpriced. Ugh. It's like $20 for like a first edition Pikachu or Eevee. Like these cards are through the roof. They're beautiful though. I mean, I love them. I can't wait to get them back. Funny enough, I have one of these at PSA. I think I have both of these at PSA. I sent them before they even exploded. Like I sent my first one when the first edition Pikachu, this one was $300. I sent it in. Then it went to 1,000. Now it's back to like 300. I think it dropped to 250 now. People are realizing that I was stupid to buy those cards in the first place. But yeah, I'm gonna go through my cards now and show you guys what I got. And I want you guys to say what you think about my submission. Do you think I shouldn't submit all these cards? Do you think what I'm doing is a mistake? Do you think I should be patient? Like, I don't know. No one knows what's best. There's a lot of people saying like, go stick to PSA. There's a lot of people saying CGC is horrible. You know, stick to PSA. There's a lot of people saying CGC is the way to go. Like, no one really knows. And so I'm always just trying to give like my opinion, and I want to hear your opinions as well in the comments. But all right, let's go through it. So I got a lot of comments. A friend of mine, PokeDeek, actually was kind enough to give these to me, which was so nice of him. But we got a lot of awesome cards here. This in particular is the pile I'm a really big fan of. This Dark Raticate, I guess not necessarily. I can go in the other one. But it's cards that I think have a lot of value. Like I think Dark Golduck is an awesome card. This is a rare. So this is a Team Rocket rare, so I think that's definitely going to fetch a fair price if it gets a good grade. And you can see all of these are in very good condition. Some of them do have white nicks in the corners. This one is maybe a little bit off top to bottom. Actually, that is potentially really good centering. Maybe a little bit off right to left. Maybe a little bit. But these cards are great condition. I'm hoping for some 9s, 9.5s, and on potentially all of them. This is another rare. Dark Dragonair is a very popular card. People love the Dragonairs. The Charmander, this card is very popular. It was spiking hard in price as well. The Dark Charmeleon, look at this one. Whew. One of these sold recently on eBay, CGC version. I can't remember exactly what it was. Oh, I can't remember. I think it was like $70 or something like that for like a decently high grade. It wasn't a 10, which is crazy, right? Like that's such a good flip. But yeah, now we got a bunch. I had a bunch of squirrels. Where did they go? So yeah, we got a Victory Bell, Meowth. It's kind of a lot of the repeats, so I'm not going to go too much into these. Let's get into the modern. So I do want to discuss my modern grades as well. Then I'll talk about my friend's cards. He has some really cool stuff I want to go over. And yeah, let me know what you guys are getting graded. I'm curious what other people are doing right now. Like I honestly feel like my judge for the market's a bit wishy-washy, like what people are doing. Obviously, still a ton of people are going for PSA. In fact, I watched a video recently where I think it was the guy who runs Ludkins, which is like the big middleman service for PSA. It's a big one, and he's sending in like 30,000 PSA cards. 30,000. Like what? 30,000. I don't know who's buying those, but hey, respect. Honestly, if I had the money to do that, I probably would. I trust in Pokemon, but here we go. I'm personally a fan of sending these in. Honestly, like I think they're just so cool. Maybe I'm just a nerd for that, but I just think they look nice. Like these and the rainbow rares. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, be careful, don't send them in." Like, they're not rare. First of all, they actually are pretty rare in terms of pull rates. I mean, this Oranguru, you're only gonna get one per box, maybe. The last 2 Vivid Voltage boxes I opened, neither had a rainbow rare or a gold card. So if you're lucky, you can get it, but this card is not common. I think it's like a $30 card on eBay right now. It's quite high. This is just a Pikachu. I'm hoping to flip it for like $20, $25, like a $5 profit type of card. This one is one I might not send, but dude, this card is so cool, right? Am I crazy, guys? Isn't that card sick? Trainer cards, another one. People are, really questioning trainers, but I don't know, guys. I feel like nowadays there's someone who's collecting everything. And Leon, in my opinion, is one of the coolest trainers. Like, This card is insane. Look how cool he's so epic. Togekiss VMAX, Rainbow Rare. You know, I'm sending in. I have a whole binder of Rainbow Rares. I'm probably going to send them all in, right? Pikachu VMAX. This card I expect to fetch a good price. Ooh, this one I'm probably not going to send in. But the Nessa card. You guys know the waifu tax, right? Any card that has like a character or a female that could be considered a waifu apparently can drive up the price, but let's go a little bit faster. Orbital V. Then I got some shiny V Amazing Rares. They've been actually listed. There's some people listing them for very, very high amounts. Personally, I'm going to try to flip them for about $20 to $25. These are, I'm not too sure about, but the reason why I'm very keen on sending in Japanese cards is I really want to look for those 10s. In general, just because it's so hard to pull CGC 10s, I think they're going to fetch good prices. However, do keep in mind, this is a good piece of knowledge here. Through my research and my studying of the CGC market, it is very obvious that Japanese 10s do not go for nearly as much as an English 10. If you get an English 10, you should set a pretty high premium. Yes, even for CGC. You might be saying, but what about, who cares? It's just a 10. There's so many modern 10s. There's not so many CGC modern 10s. There's just not. However, for the Japanese, there is quite a bit. So, it's really not as good as you might think. Let's get into the next set. This card, I actually have one currently at CGC, but I like it so much that I wouldn't mind having two. I mean, how could you not like this card? Let's keep going. I actually don't know. Is this Dragapult? I think it's Dragapult. Or is it the one between? But yeah, I'm sending in a lot of the full arts. This card is insane. I think this one sold for like $250 in a 10. Yes, the Japanese one I think sold for like $250 in a 10, which is insane. Like, there's definitely potential here. Obviously, Japanese cards are such good quality. The centering looks fantastic. It's very hard to tell on the front, but it looks great. Maybe I scratched it myself. I hope not, but maybe I scratched it myself. Then we got a Grimmsnarl. This card is insane. Honestly, they did such a good job with Shiny Star V. And then, yeah, baby! Honestly, I'm not really a big fan of the texture of this card. It kind of just looks meh to me. Like, I like the way Charizard looks, but the texture is not that cool. And then finally, some evolutions. Oh, yeah, I have another one of these Charizards. I just took it out. But then some evolutions. Just quick flips. Very popular Pokemon, right? I mean, that's evolutions in a nutshell. It's not like the quality is good. I don't expect to get good grades. But what I can say is that there's always collectors for evolution cards. Then, oh, yep, one more. My bad. Mega Charizard EX. Really, I would recommend sending in any Charizards. But talking about Charizards, I have so many of these VMAXs. I'm hoping for at least 110. You might be saying, why don't you send them to the PSA? I didn't want to put up the money, to be honest. Like, how I see it is, yes, I'm much more likely to get a PSA 10, and my money might be better spent at PSA. I actually had them in my submission, but I took them out, all of these. And the reason for that was, I'm just like, I don't want to spend $75 and wait like a month and a half to get my Express pack. And yes, it can literally take a month to a month and a half to get your Express cards back. If you don't believe me, go watch the ZNG Emporium video. He said, once again for the Express, they couldn't give a deadline. I sent in an Express order December something. And it delivered like around December something. They haven't even put it in their system. They haven't acknowledged the package. What? How have they not acknowledged the package? But nonetheless, we got a bunch of these Charizard VMAXs, like an absolute ton of them, 6 of them. So, instead of sending them in for $75, I'm just going to send them in for what, 11? Because I'm going to get subgrades. Oh, that's a good topic. Let's talk about that. So subgrades. I'm probably going to make a complete separate video for some of these topics, but subgrades. How should you know to go for subgrades, or why should you go for subgrades? So, in my opinion, it's very good to go for subgrades in particular if you know you have a very, very clean card. Like, let's say you have a card you think you're going to get a 10 on, send it in with subgrades. The reason for that is if you get like a 10, 10, 10, 10, a pristine 10, you're popping. Like, you're going to sell that for mad money. Also, people just love to see how nice cards are. Another thing that fetches a high price, if you get quad 9s. 9 centering, 9 edges, 9 surface. Oh god, I'm blanking out. Edges, borders? Alright, I'm literally blanking out completely. I can't remember the 4th category. But if you think you have like a very expensive card, I recommend doing it. Oh, I'm probably not going to send this in. This centering is horrible. Oh my god. Alright, that's not getting sent in. Yeah, I'm going to double check all these cards, guys. Don't worry. This one also looks way off. Jeez, that's horrible. This one also looks a bit off. Wow, okay. This one looks better. Yeah, alright. We got one that's better. We'll keep this one in. We also got a Rayquaza. How is he doing? He's quite off. I still might send it in though because it's Rayquaza. But let's get back into the subgrades, and then we'll end off the video. Whoop, bump the camera. So for subgrades, let's say I have this Charizard here. I think it's well centered. Okay. So does it look well centered? This one does not actually. That's a bad example. This one, it's maybe a little bit off top to bottom. Okay, let's say though I think this is a well centered card, which I think you could argue it is. It's honestly on camera it looks fantastic. Okay, so let's say this is a well centered card. We're assuming that. I want people to know how good it is. I want people to know how good the centering is. I want people to know how good the surface is, and the subgrades will then fetch a higher price. I also asked, I forget the exact name of his channel, Squeak's Game World, if I'm not mistaken. He submits like so many CGC cards. Like I think he submitted thousands of them, and he said that he personally found, when I asked him, he personally found that the centering does, it's worth to spend the $4.50. So if anyone's wondering, grading costs $7.20. Shipping costs about $1 per card, sometimes less, and subgrades cost $4.50. That's where it says, the 4 grades at the bottom. And so he found that with expensive cards, all cards, he does it for all cards, it will increase the value. Like, spending the extra $4.50 will make you more, and he doesn't have the exact numbers, he doesn't do the exact numbers, so this is not a fact, but he found that his prices, he was getting better prices and selling them. So I think it's and honestly he has been selling them at good prices. I've been tracking some of his website prices, and he has them up for pretty high prices, and I would imagine he sells a lot of them at those prices. So yeah, I definitely would keep that in mind, guys. You can do the subgrades for especially the cards you think are looking nice, and that is a good option. Now let's end the video with some of these nice cards here that my friend sent me. My friend Mike B. He has 4 cards. I do middleman for CGC. I'm charging $10 a card. If you want subgrades, it's, I'm not going to charge you extra for it for now. But look at these. Honestly, these cards are beautiful. It's a bit hard for me to tell what's off-centered on e-readers. I haven't really held many e-readers in the past. So, like, they always look off-centered because of the bottom, but that's just how it is. So, it's chilling. Even though these actually might be kind of big on the bottom anyway, they do look very nice. This one has a bit of a nick on the top right, but these EX cards are fantastic. Like, I'm gonna start an EX collection at some point for sure, because I think they look so nice. But yeah, this one has a nick in the left. In the bottom right, top left. Top right as well. This one is clean in terms of the edges. It's a very clean card. I think I remember it being scratched a little bit at the top, but I highly recommend you guys consider these cards. Also a first edition Dark Hypno. Wow, look at that. I was thinking this card might get an 8 or a 9. It's very, actually, this one might be a 7 if he's unlucky because of centering. It's very off top to bottom. It's very, very off. Like, I'd be shocked if this gets higher than an 8. So, I still would always grade all my vintage cards regardless. I think it's worth the while, but what is this, Neo Genesis? Oh no, this is Skyridge. Is this Skyridge? I can't remember. I have to touch up on my vintage sets. I can't remember. But alright, that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this discussion, this talk. My cards. If you guys want your own cards set in, you could hit me up on Instagram and I'll do it for you. But yeah, I really do like watching these videos myself. So I'm like, I'll just put on. I'll go through my submission, talk about the market, talk about things that I've noticed. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe, comment something random. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.